Hi, this is Jenny Brav of Radiant Wholeness Healing, and today we're clearing blocks to embodiment. This is meant as a companion piece to the blog post linked below, where I describe a ritual you can do if you want to reconcile your mind and your body, your heart, mind, body, your spirit and your body, just you and your body. If you're having a difficult relationship, maybe because of trauma or chronic health issues. And so the blog post details how to do the ritual, and this can be really helpful to do beforehand to clear any grief, anger, sadness, fear, anything that's really up before you do the ritual. And when I talk about embodiment, I really mean the feeling of living connected and in your body. Many of us have been conditioned to live in our heads, for example. And even if we're physically active and work out and do all the things that we're meant to take care of our bodies, it can still be done from a mind place and a dictatorial dragging the body around and expecting it to obey place rather than partnership and something that's reciprocal, egalitarian. And also, if you tend to check out, dissociate, distract a lot, be living in the future and the past, not a lot in the present moment, those can be signs that working on embodiment might be helpful. And also, if there's a history of trauma, persecution, illness, addiction in your family lineage, not necessarily with you, but it's something that you think you're still holding, that can also be a sign that this would be helpful. If you believe in past lives, if you don't, it's totally fine, or you've never explored that. But if you have, and you know you have past lives where you were persecuted for speaking your truth or being connected to your knowing, which tend to be also linked to embodiment, it's hard to be connected to our intuition if we're not in our bodies. Then that can also be an indicator that this would be helpful to do. So let's drop in. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. Taking nice slow breaths. And just noticing as you start dropping into the present moment, into your body, what does that feel like? And you might imagine there's a dial in your head connecting you to your cognitive brain, and turning that dial as far down as feels comfortable in this moment, with gratitude for how hard it works for you. And sensing a dial in your body connecting you to your heart, body, intuitive wisdom. And turning that dial as far up as feels comfortable. And noticing again what that feels like to be more in your body, if that was easy to do, to turn one dial down, to turn the other up if there was resistance. And noticing when we connect more to that body, what arises for you. Is there resistance? Is there fear? maybe sadness, heaviness. Anger, confusion. Does it feel impossible? Is there a block there? Maybe it feels really good and comfortable. And if that's the case, then you might not need this video. Otherwise, just noticing any emotions that are present, any physical sensations. Does any area of your body feel tight or jittery? Or conversely, feel numb, distant? Do you feel disconnected, dissociated? It's hard to feel your body. What body? Especially if there's a history of trauma, which is one of the reasons why we might dissociate either your own trauma or might be inherited, intergenerational trauma that still lives in your body. Just inviting in an energy of compassion and knowing you can do this at your own pace. If you get flooded or overwhelmed at any point, I invite you to stop and maybe do the nervous system regulating video. And otherwise, just noticing if there are any beliefs about being in a body. And those might be very unconscious. You might not actually consciously believe these things, but in behavior, for example, bodies are unpredictable. Not safe. There's no control there. You have to learn to regulate the things in your body. The body holds your spirit back. Your spirit just wants to fly. Holds your mind back. And if you've had any chronic health issues or pain, noticing if there's any anger towards your body or feelings that the story that you've been betrayed by your body. And just noticing what's here. And also noticing if there's any memories coming up around this, maybe from your childhood or maybe associated with a person in your family who wasn't very embodied or a part of your lineage, where there's addiction, trauma, pain, people aren't very present. And again, with compassion, just noticing When you're ready, opening your eyes. Or you can keep them closed if you want to and tap along with me, tapping on the side of your hand, deep breath. And repeating after me, feeling free to modify the words to fit your situation. Even though I have some blocks to embodiment, my relationship with my body can be strained. I sometimes feel resentment and blame. There's a disconnect between my body and my mind or my spirit. My heart, which is in my body and my mind. I'm open to loving and accepting myself with all of this. Good, deep breath. Tapping all over your head. These blocks to embodiment inside of the eyebrows. I see you. Outside of the eyes, I feel you. Under the eyes, I acknowledge any pain under and above the lips, chronic health issues, under the collarbone, feelings of powerlessness associated with the body, middle of sternum, any messages I might have received as a child, ribs, that it's not safe to be in a body, side of the body, that I need to learn to control my emotions, my needs. Deep breath. Which live in my body. Any conditioning I might have received. Switch wrists. That the only safety is in the head, in the mind. Tapping all over the head. And I acknowledge any resistance my spirit might have inside of the eyebrows to being in a body, inside of the eyes. Would rather be unfettered, light, and free. Under the eyes, breathe. Under and above the lips, I see you all. Under the collarbone, I acknowledge you. Middle of the sternum. And I acknowledge any ancestral ribs, and possibly past life blocks. Side of the body from trauma, wrist, loss, other wrist, illness, all over the head. Deep breath inside of the eyebrows, and I acknowledge any coping strategies developed by my younger self outside the eyes and or my ancestors under the eyes to survive under and above the lips. Feel less powerless and scared under the collarbone to avoid feeling the pain of loss. Middle of the sternum. These coping strategies were exactly what was needed at the time. Ribs, and they served a purpose. Side of the body, and it's possible they don't serve any purpose anymore. Wrist. Now they're merely preventing us from being integrated and free and whole. Other wrist. Breathe. It's possible that we're ready to release this. Tapping all over your head. You can pause the tapping for a moment and closing your eyes if they're open. And imagine that your current self is standing there beside your younger self, or if it was inherited, this disembodiment pattern. Imagining you're standing beside a parent you might have gotten it from, or that whole lineage, or a past life self if you have already accessed one around this. And just letting them know how sorry you are for what happened to them. That this coping strategy was brilliant and brave. And maybe imagining that you are projecting on liminal space your current life. And showing them how this coping strategy at this point is not serving, it's doing the opposite of what was intended, which was safety and feeling more in control, more in your power. Showing them how this is limiting your ability to be in your power and making you feel less in control. And that if you release this, you'll be honoring their sacrifices, not dishonoring. That through you, they can have what they couldn't back then. Your inner child, your ancestors, the past life. They can have the freedom, the joy, the limitlessness, the connection to source and intuition, which happens through the body. And if you're getting a yes, if not, it's fine. You can do this video again. But if you're getting a yes to release the coping strategy, the beliefs that are blocking full embodiment, imagine that you're holding it in front of you and just nodding to it, acknowledging that it's there for a reason, and then letting it go. With love and gratitude, releasing it to energy and light. Releasing any cords that are tying you to the past. And feeling yourself, you can physically do it if you want. Reconnecting your mind and your body, your spirit and your body, your heart, body, and mind. Realigning them. And bringing this new reality into your heart. Letting it radiate back out. When you're ready, tapping all over your body, shaking it out, touch something grounding. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Let me know in the comments below how it went for you. Hit the like button if it was helpful. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and there's also information down below about doing deeper one-on-one sessions with me. I love doing this kind of work of embodiment and the ancestral work and the trauma healing with you. Thank you so much.